To log in, you're going to navigate to mylearning.suny.edu. It's then going to ask you to log into your network, which you'll have to use your two-step authentication for. I am waiting for my code. And then it'll allow you in. Once you get to this screen, you can quickly navigate to your courses by using this dice up at the top to select for your course. For the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to be using NUS 302. So to begin, we're going to look at navigation. If you notice on the top bar here, you have easy access to a couple of items. We're going to talk about assignments, discussions, and quizzes, which are really the three items where students have work to do in the course. We are going to suggest that students do not access their work using these tabs, because this would allow them to then bypass their readings and resources, which are really essential for their learning. But just so that you're aware, you can easily click into each of these tabs to see all of the assignments, the discussions, and the quizzes. You also can see the student roster. This is where you'll see everyone that has access to your course and the date that they last accessed it. Note that this is where you're going to look when you need to send the advisors the details about who's never accessed your course by that Thursday of week 1, as we've always done. If there's no date in this box, then they've never accessed your course. Of course, this is only going to be for those that are listed as a student in your course and not for anyone that's listed as a faculty, because clearly the advisors aren't interested in them. You can also easily get to the gradebook, where you'll see your students in the course. You can also flag the student, which just gives you a way to be able to filter by flagged students if there's ones that you're watching for some reason. And then you can also click this box if you want to view the specific progress just for that individual student. You can also easily switch between instructor and student view by clicking on your name in the upper right-hand corner and choosing the student view. This is a great way to be able to look through the course to see what the students are going to see. And you can always return to this main page by clicking on the course home. On the course home page, you'll notice these widgets, which are these little boxes. They're called widgets. And you notice that they include all the typical content that you have seen in Moodle, in the Moodle course. The welcome start here, student resources, course information, and then each of the weekly widgets. Oh, I'm in student view at the moment. To return back to your instructor role, click back into that box and just click the X to get out. Because I do want to show you, again, all the widgets on the left. And then, of course, the course management procedures, which the students don't see. This is blinded to them, as you actually just saw. This 67% on 4 out of 6 topics completed really mean nothing to us as instructors, but this is what allows the students to know if they navigated through all of the content in this widget. So 67% of the content in this widget I have navigated through according to what this is telling us here. You will also see on the left side of the screen, this is where the announcements are going to load for the students to be able to see. I have not loaded any announcements into this design course, but I will show you how to do that when we go over course setup. You will also see details about a calendar, and upcoming events is all of the due dates that are coming due for specific assignments. I personally prefer to navigate the course using the course content tab, which sets everything up into a table of contents instead of checklets. You can, of course, choose which you like best, navigating the course using the widgets or navigating the course using a table of contents like you see here now. I'm going to go over the rest of the course tour, showing you through the table of contents. Let's start with the Welcome Start Here tab. In the Welcome Start Here tab, you see the Welcome to NURS 302, and this is going to be identical for every course. The content that is in each of these will be the same. It's just really the weekly content that's different. But you'll see here, this is a short welcome, which includes the required content for the Oscar rubric for quality course design. It includes a course description, which is right from the course syllabus, the credits of the course, the prerequisites, how long they should be working in here. And it will also include the course tour video for your specific course. Obviously, I haven't loaded mine here yet, but in each of your courses, there should be a course tour video main there. I do suggest that you have in your welcome message to the students in your announcements that you do direct them to the Welcome to NURS 302 tab in the Welcome Start Here widget or on the navigation table of contents so that they can see their specific course tour video. I can return to the Welcome Start Here just by clicking the breadcrumbs here. And you'll see that now there's also the Meet Your Instructor, About Us, and the Q&A forum. The Meet Your Instructor tab is where you're going to upload your bio, and it also includes details about how to contact you and your communication preferences. This was standardized through SUNY, and all courses will have this content. You, of course, would change yours to be specific to you. The About Us is where the students are going to introduce themselves to you by starting a new thread. And I'm going to go over this more when I go over the course setup. And then obviously the question and answer forums is just like the typical Q&A forum that we already had in Moodle. Going back to the table of contents, the next section is the online nursing resources. I just want to point out these numbers next to each section. It's telling you how many items are in each one of these items on the table of contents. So for example, there's a total of 56 items in the table of contents. There's 6 in the Welcome Here tab. And then for example, week 2, which we're going to get to later, has 3 items within it. So again, the online nursing student resources. This contains all of the useful links for students for how they'll get to the writing tutor, for advisements, how they'll get to details about our honor society, their practicum, etc. You can look through this at your leisure. You also notice in the upper right-hand corner that you can go between collapsed view and expanding all of the content view. Unfortunately, it does not collapse or expand the items on the table of contents, but it does collapse and expands the content on the middle part of the screen. As we move down the table of contents, the next piece is course information. This is where you're going to find the course-specific syllabus, the calendar of assignments, and then some additional standardized content related to communications and participation. All courses have this. It's not anything that you're going to need to interact with. It's details for the students. But here is the calendar of assignments, which is in a downloadable form for the students, and the course-specific syllabus. Moving down the table of contents, we get into the weekly content. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to show you week 2 here. And again, you saw in week 2 that there's 3 items. Those 3 items are an overview, readings and resources, and in my particular course, a discussion. Every course in the program will have a weekly overview and weekly readings and resources. In the overview, it has a brief description of what the students will learn that week, followed by the specific learning outcomes that the students will meet that particular week. Again, I'll navigate back to the week 2 content using the breadcrumbs. And readings and resources gives students all the required readings and resources that they're required to navigate through for that week. And then the discussion. This brings students directly to the discussion that they're required to complete for that week with all of the instructions. And it also brings them to the grading rubric for that specific assignment. And then, of course, they can start their thread here and bring them right to the discussion board. Setting up your course is going to be a lot easier than it was in Moodle, in my opinion. To start, I always suggest that you start on the course home tab. Again, you can press here to get to the course home, which is basically the one where you're seeing the widgets. The first thing you can do is set up your announcements. To set up your announcements, click on this Create an Announcement. Give it a title. Provide your post. And then scroll beneath here to have your release date. Of course, for your welcome to the course, the release date should be the day of preview day. But then you also have your week 1, week 2, week 3, all of your weekly announcements. You can preload all of these and choose the date which you want it to be released. I typically release mine on the Sunday at 10 o'clock, the day before the week starts. But you can preload all of your announcements, which is really a time-saving technique for you when you're setting up your course. Once you have posted your announcement and clicked your release date, scroll to the bottom. You're not going to need any of these and click publish. Next is the Meet Your Instructor information in the Start Here tab. As I mentioned in the navigation video, you're going to upload your specific information in the Meet Your Instructor. So I would click on it. I'm going to choose the caret next to the title of Meet Your Instructor here, and then choose Edit HTML. You're going to go through and load all of your own specific information in all of these areas, contact information as well, your communication preferences, and then save and close. Next is the About Us forum. Here again is where each of the students is going to enter their specific welcome, introduction to themselves here, but I do suggest you put one in yourself. You can start a new thread, give it a title. Hi, class. I already introduced myself in the Meet Your Instructor tab, and I cannot wait to hear all about you. Not read my bio. Here it is for your convenience, or whatever it is you want to say. I can now link that bio right here for the student's ease of access. You just go to this little hyperlink, choose content. It's in the welcome here, and choose my Meet the Instructor. This will put the link to it right here in the About Us. Then scroll down and post. If there were other items that you needed to personally set up in Moodle, it is possible that you still need to do that in D2L. Please check with your course coordinator for the course that you are teaching to be sure. Now I'm going to show you how to respond to students. That is, how are you going to respond to students in the About Us, the questions and answers, and their discussions. So all of your communications really will take place as far as responding to students is going to take place in the discussions here. So if I click on the discussions, when you scroll down, so example for the About Us and the question and answer forum, you can see your active posts and the unanswered posts here. This 4 here is representing that there's a total of 4 posts in this forum, and the blue one is stating that there's 1 post that you have not yet viewed. You can view the post 2 different ways. You can either click on this one to be directed to the forum, or you could click here and enter the forum here. So for the About Us, let's use the 1. And it's going to bring me to the 1 post that I have not yet viewed. I can read the post here. And then to respond to it, I'm going to click on the title of the post and click Reply to Thread. and then post. And now I'm just going to return to my discussion list by navigating to the breadcrumb. So when I return now, you'll see that now there's a total of 5 posts, but there's no more blue item there, letting me know that I've read all the posts in that forum. The other way to navigate to respond to this one post that I haven't answered is to click the link here. Again, this is going to bring me to all of the posts in that forum. I could then respond by clicking on, and you can actually see that the one that's unanswered is a dark bolded blue compared to the lighter colors. So I know this is the unanswered one. I can click on it. I can see John Horner wrote me a nice poem, and then I can respond to it. And post. So let's just go back to that list, and you can now see that it is no longer bold like it was before. It's the same color as the rest of them, letting me know that I have answered all of the posts in this thread. Let's go back to the discussions and scroll down a bit further to our week 2 discussion. And you can see the same thing here. I can see when there's a post that I have not responded to yet. There would be blue here. I've responded to all posts. But the same thing, I can click into the discussion. I can scroll all the way to the bottom, and I can see all of the posts that have been made in this discussion. And that is how you make responses to students in the About Us Q&A and discussion forum. All right, for grading, I'm going to start with grading discussions. The easiest way to start your grading process is to navigate to the discussions tab at the top. And there's a couple of different ways that you can do this. Obviously, the About Us and the questions and answer forum are not graded discussions. So navigate to the discussion that you're looking to grade. The first way that you can start grading your discussions is to click on the caret next to the discussion you're grading and go to Assess Topic. When you get to the Assess Topic, you're going to be directed directly to all the students who have participated in that discussion. So I see I already graded Hans Solo here, so I'm going to grade Darth Vader now. I'm going to click on Topic Score. I know because I have not yet graded Darth Vader. I am going to click on the Topic Score. It's going to bring me to this screen. I see that Darth Vader actually didn't participate in the discussion forum. So I would just give them a 0. I can either just put a 0 here in the overall grade and leave my overall feedback, or you can click on the grading rubric. It brings you up each item on the specific grading rubric. If I hover in here, it gives me the criteria that I developed for this particular grading rubric. I can decide on how I'm going to grade the particular student. And I can do that for each of the different areas. It gives me an overall score here. Note that I can also, if I needed to deduct for lateness or something else, I can just change that score here. So they'll see what their total score was, but their overall grade is here. Note also that within each category, I can add specific feedback for each thing. Again, here, I can leave specific feedback on each specific item on the grading rubric, and then I can leave overall feedback down at the bottom. When you look here between publish and saved draft is kind of like hiding the grade from the student until you're ready to release it. So I can click save draft, or I can click publish if I'm ready to release that grade. Let me just navigate back to the discussion forum. To show you yet another way that I can actually grade the assignment. So again, I can see, remember, I can see all of the posts in this forum by clicking here. And all of the posts will be at the very, very bottom. So another way that I can grade is this particular Han Solo post. I can come here and I can click the caret and do assess a student. That will bring me right to all of that student's particular posts. Again, the grading rubric like I showed previously, the overall feedback, and I can either save as a draft or publish. Those are the two ways that I can grade a discussion board. Now I'm going to show you how to grade an assignment. To grade an assignment, start by clicking into the Assignments tab. For the purposes of this, I am going to show you the assignment 4 here, where I can see that there is one new submission that I have not yet viewed. I can click here to be taken to that submission that I have not yet viewed, which happens to be Han's Solo. I can click on the assignment. It will bring up the assignment into this awesome screen where you can use tons of annotation tools. For the annotation tools, I do suggest that everybody look at them themselves, but I'll go over some quick things here. You have a page layout where you can change between different views that you prefer. You also have different views. You can also rotate the page. So if the student should upload a PDF or something that's wrong, you can pan around. You can zoom in and zoom out. You can make it full screen or smaller. Then you have your annotation tools where you can draw on the screen. You can highlight. You can text highlight. And you can erase. Here you have all the different color options of changing your pen colors and such. You can create a text. You can draw lines. Take this at your leisure, look through and learn how to play with the annotation tools. But again, I have my grading rubric here, which I can click on, and I can see what my criteria are and decide how many points I'm going to give the student for this particular area. I go through and I can do that for each and every section. Again, I can leave individual feedback in each section. It gives me the overall score. Again, I can change this if I need to for lateness. And I can leave overall feedback. Just like the discussion board, I can either save as a draft or publish for student view. I'll just navigate back. If I click on, instead of clicking on the actual submission, I can also click into the assignment. into the assignment is going to show me all of the students. And then up at the top, there's some pretty cool features. You have email users without submissions. If you click on this, it's going to auto-generate a blinded copy message to any student who has not yet submitted their assignment. And then you, of course, can say, I noticed that you have not yet submitted your assignment. For the syllabus, I will deduct 5% for each day of lateness. Please submit ASAP to avoid further reductions for lateness. And then you can send that to those students. This is a really great feature so that you can knock it out to everybody who has not submitted all at once. You can also view the submission log, which tells you everybody who has submitted the assignment or even just started the assignments. Once they have actually clicked in and read the instructions, you'll know that they at least looked at it. So back to this screen again, for actual grading purposes, I can see Han Solo. I can see his assignment right here. So I could click here to go right to his assignment to grade. Another place that you can look to see all of the submissions is by clicking into this tab. I can see all of the submissions that were done for this particular assignment. And that is how you grade discussions and assignments in this particular course. The last thing I wanted to go over with you is student grades so that you're able to track and see all of the students' grades. You can clearly find those here by clicking on the grades tab at the top. This will bring you to your grade book where you can see all of your student grades. You can, of course, slide through to see more. You can also make adjustments in the grade book as you need to by clicking in the boxes for the grades. Again, there's these flags that you have here that you could click on students. Again, they're not going to know that you've flagged them. It's for your own filtering purposes. For example, maybe you have a student who is going through a hard time and you've approved a late assignment. You just want to remind yourself that you've approved a late assignment. You can click these tabs. Or maybe a student has accommodations and you're trying to remember who the student is. You can click these. Okay. It does not go to Starfish by checking these flags. That's a totally different type of flag. And again, you can look at individual students by clicking this other emblem next to each individual student's name. One last thing to make you aware of is setting your particular settings for notifications so that you don't get bothered with every single post that you don't want to be bothered with. You can go up to your name and choose notifications. Scroll down and you can check the boxes that you feel are necessary for you. For example, I don't want to be notified every time a new announcement comes. But you could choose what you think is right for yourself and just click Save. I hope that you found this course tour helpful. Again, I am working over the summer and I'm happy to answer any questions of you all once the summer session starts, or if you even need assistance with figuring out grading or figuring out how to respond to students, I am happy to help. Thank you.